boys do. They stare at me while I stare at you.
Hey guys, Dave Norona here, and it's right next to the brand new Summit X 174 T3. There's a lot of stuff on the internet about this sled now, and I'm going to take you through the sled and all the different parts. The first thing we're going to talk about is the RAS2 front suspension. Now this is going to be in the line on a few sleds, but it definitely comes on the T3 package. Now what this suspension is that we've done on this is that the lower A-arm is actually a little bit higher. The reason for that, it comes to the same point on the spindle, but in previous years it actually came down to a cast iron piece and then went up to where the point is. Well, we've actually eliminated that and brought the lower A-arm straight out to it. So there's actually more ground clearance on this suspension now by 20 millimeters. The big difference, or another big change, is from the lower A-arm to the top is a difference of 12 millimeters. And what this basically does is, normally when people think of the front suspension traveling, it actually just doesn't move up and down like this. It actually changes as it goes through its suspension. And on the older suspension, what it does is when it goes up, it actually comes up like this in sort of a negative camber. And what happens is when you get in the air and then you land, when you land like this, the sled is tippier. So when you go around a corner, that's why you feel the sled being tippier, or if you come off a bump and then land, it does this. Well, what we've changed in the RAS2 is that when you go in the air, it goes through its suspension, it actually goes into like a positive camber. And so when you go in the air and you land, it lands like this and it feels really stable. So it's going to make no difference to when you're side hilling or anything, but when you get air or you're riding it on the trail, it's actually going to feel more stable, more planted, and you'll be able to wrap corner better. So that's what's so great about this new RAS2 front suspension. We've also changed the ski. This is a Ds3 Ski on the Summit X T3 package. Now the biggest change in this ski is that you'll see it's a lot more narrow in the front. And if you think about a ski, when you look at a DS2, when you come in, it actually touches the snow in the front about here. So the leverage between here and the front spindle is about this long. So if you've ever been side hilling on a day that's not super deep and you hit something, you actually feel it right into the handlebars. Well, the difference with this DS3 ski is that's actually moved back to here in the narrow part. So the leverage is way smaller. So when you're riding in when you're riding in low snow conditions and you side hill, it just hooks into the hill and you get no feedback. And that's why we've designed this ski like this. It also has a 12 millimeter deeper heel. And the cool thing about this ski, we don't have it on now, but the sled will come with it, is a slip-on front end that actually brings the ski wider. And all it is it slips on and there's one bowl. So you'll ride this sled like it is right now at the beginning of December, but as soon as that powder starts to pile up, you'll put on that wider front part of the ski and you can tune it. And then when you get into the end of March, when there's lower snow, you actually take it off again. So it makes this front end totally tunable, which is really, really cool. So now we've come around to the right side. We're going to actually look at the brand new can, which actually saves 5 pounds. And how they've done that is they've moved it into a cylindrical shape, so it can be thinner walled, but it still produces the same acoustics. If you want to update this can to your current model snowmobile for 13 or 14, you can do it, but you actually have to also buy the tuner pipe because the connection is actually different. It won't work with the older tuner pipe. Moving back here, that's right, we got the 174, also comes in a 163. Now this just wasn't hacked together. One of the cool things is this was drop and roll chain case. They've done the relocation for the skid, and it's also a 7-tooth driver. Doesn't have inner idler wheels at the front, so it comes stock with scratchers. And then the rear wheels actually are also lighter, and to take some weight out of there. We've used lightweight parts in the skid chromoly rails. The axles have been lightened up. In the 174, the rear arm has actually been moved back 5.2 inches. And then to further lighten it up, we've got the 3-inch track, of course. The rods that you know on the flex edge track were reduced by 1 inch on each side. Well, now the rubber that was left there, we've taken that rubber away. We've also refined the rubber throughout the track to actually make the track lighter. As well is the heat exchanger on the new T3 package. They've eliminated 50% of it. So under where the seat is no heat exchanger. And so this not only saves weight, but it still has the same cooling capacity. It also saves weight from the heat exchanger, but also the coolant that would be in that part of the heat exchanger if it were there. So the cool thing about this brand new Rev XM Summit T3 package is that in the 174, it is the same weight as a current 13 or 14 163. And if you order the 163, it's the same weight as a 154 with a 2.5 in a current 13 or 14. So you actually get no weight penalty going with this amazing package, which is incredible for getting a longer track, the monster in the 174. So it's just an amazing accomplishment by the engineers at Ski-Doo. I personally have not ridden the 174 yet. I ride a 163 now, and I literally won't go back. So I'll be out in the next week on this new 174, so expect a video on that and how it goes. I can imagine I'll probably be a 163 guy because I'm smaller, but I definitely want to ride this 174. Those who think that the motor won't push it, it's totally inaccurate. The motor will rip this track, and the reason why is because on a 163 or 174, the people who ride 146, 154, they actually are used to having it to the bar and spinning the track a lot. You don't need to do that with these. You can actually, even when you jump it, you can come in slow and then hit a little bit of the throttle and whoop, it just drops off. Just like you can with, if you explain with a dirt bike, a 450, you come out of the corner in the same gear and it's all the power's right there because you're getting that traction. So that's what you're going to find with these new sleds. Because we had the crowd leave, I thought I'd just hop on this 174 and show you how easy it is to tip over. As you can see, there's no magic here. I'm 138 pounds. Okay, foot here. Look at that. And just a little bit of a lean. And look at it, how balanced it is. Counter steer. 174, baby. I'll let you know in a week how easy it is to ride.
My heart broke when I saw you kept your gaze control. Why can you want me like the other boys do? They stare at me while I crave you.